Hi guys, today a little tutorial for recreational skaters. What's the difference between a 125, a 110 and a 100 millimeter wheel? Obvious, the diameter is different, but what do you feel in skating and what do I think most recreational skaters, race skaters, speed skaters if you will, should choose? Well, that's a bit of a problem. In the old days you always started out with a 100 wheel. That was the biggest diameter, and then came the 110. You can obviously see that it's bigger than a 100, so the 110. And after that came the 125. Well, to begin, I begin with the 100. 100 wheels give you more stability. If you are new to speed skating, you hear a lot of professionals talking about the wheels, but I am a recreational long distance skater and I also do track skating. On a track, I still prefer a 100 wheel. Why? Because you are faster up to speed. So your push is a little bit stronger than say the 125 and even the 110. And you are a bit more nimble. Also, the frame of a 100 wheel can be just a little bit shorter, and shortness means that you're more nimble in steering. So when you double push, your double push on the outer edge is very good if you're a double pusher, but if you are not, the steering at the end of the push back to where you go to the side instead of doing it to the behind is a little bit better on a 100 wheel. You have to maybe compare it, it has to do with rotational speed, etc. But the larger a wheel is, the more difficult it is to get up to speed. So with a 100 wheel you're faster up to speed and you can maintain that speed. The bigger the wheel is, the slower it is to get up to speed. But if you have that speed, it's maybe a bit, if you're a strong skater, maybe a bit easier to maintain that speed. Up to the 110 wheel. Why 110? Well, you could almost use the same frames as with 100 wheels. Say it that the 100 wheels were mostly 12.8, sometimes even 12.6 or 12.5 inches long. Most of the 110 frames are 12.8 till 13.2 long. The 110 was a simple compromise before the 125 was there. It was a compromise for more speed. Especially the marathon skaters, the professional ones, needed more speed to be better than the competition, and so they choose 110. The 110 is, I think, still, if you're a bit of a good speed skater, recreational but also marathon, is still the best compromise. You don't have to have the strongest ankles and knees and hips, and your whole body has to move with the wheels. If you're not that strong, or even if you are strong, this is the best compromise, I still think. A big difference between the 100 it was that it was a little bit more fast, and the double push was still possible. But at the end of the push, it was also still possible to steer the wheels good back to a side push. If you have the 125 wheel, everything changes. You have 4 wheels with those, but you are bound to have 3 wheels. And 3 wheels have a bit of, I think, problems. Yes, it's fast. Yes, it is not that fast when you go from standstill to some speed. It's a little bit slower to get up to that speed, but if it rolls, they are fast. But the biggest problem I still have with 125, and I'm used to it, but what I can understand is a problem, is when you go over little bumps, the frame has the tendency to steer away. And if you're not used to that, if you're not attent to that, it can be a bit of a problem and it can be a little bit tricky sometimes. Um, you can see it like the gears in a racing bicycle. The bigger the wheel is, the higher the gear is on the cycle or on the skate in this case. So you have to be quite the stronger skater if you want to use this. And another problem, what I see and what I found out in the beginning when I went to 125, is when you have headwind, it's not that easy to maintain that speed. It's easier to maintain your speed on a 110 wheel when you're like me, an older skater, or when you are maybe a woman, a child, or if you are now an older child. And I wouldn't recommend this to young childs. Smaller diameter, even smaller than 100. But the nimbleness is a bit gone on 125. You have to be stronger in your ankles, your knees, your whole body, like I said before, I think. And the 125, great for speed, but not much more than that. So if you're on a track, choose the 110. In competition, it's you must use 110. You may even not use 125. I still think 110 and maybe 100 is the best. There is one difference between those. It's just a little bit more smooth. The ride, when the tarmac isn't that good, the ride is a bit more smooth. The steering is a bit more off. You have 3 wheels, so you have 3 contact points to the ground. That's also faster than 4 contact points to the ground. But it has the tendency to steer away over bumps. It is a bit more, the push is a bit less strong, and it's a bit more difficult, I find. And I see lots of people that use 125 have a little bit more problems to steer it back at the end of the outer push. And the double push, you can't lean that much on the outer edge that you could with 120 or 110 or 100. Up till now, I am a late double pusher, so I started about a year ago with double pushing, but I still find that when I use a 100 wheel, I can get easy on the outer edge. 110, a little bit less easy, but still easy on the outer edge. And 125, only when the shoes are rock hard on my feet, so very tight, then I can find a good outer push. But on the a little bit more comfort used skate shoe, I own that. It's a little bit more difficult to get on the outer edge to get a good double push, but that's more for the good recreational skaters and not the people that don't double push. So, well, I think I forgot some things to mention, but you may also always ask me. I hope you find this a little my voice trembles a bit, I think, but I hope you find this a little bit useful. And maybe till the next time. This was an tutorial for recreational skaters, so not like Victor Torup or Pascal Briand or whatever. It's what I find as a recreational skater. It's not the holy grail, but I hope you found it helpful. Thanks for watching, and maybe till next time. Bye bye.